there, fellow watchers. It's me, Whitey, and tonight on Born to Watch, you're going to have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? Dirty Harry burst onto the screen in 1971 and blew away the police movie forever, blurring the lines between policeman and vigilante. The world added up. For over 50 years, movies have been trying to imitate the raw, intense nature of Inspector Harry Callahan. More have failed than succeeded. We are Born to Watch, the movie podcast where we don't take the movie or ourselves too seriously, even when we cover gritty crime dramas based on real-life events. Joining me on the couch, G-Man, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Hey, do you reckon punk in the 70s was like a really bad slur of someone?
Yeah,
he says it with a lot of venom.
Oh, it's the C-bomb. It's the C-bomb of the 70s.
You know, the only other person that I think with as much passion with punk is Captain Raymond Holt from the 9-9.
He does say punk.
He loves a power punk.
He does like a punk.
I can imagine Clint Eastwood still to this day still uses it just to like when he gets real angry, like them punks, you know, like he probably still thinks it's a real tough word to use.
Well, he's 90. He's 97 or whatever fucking old he is.
Oh, he's 49 and 30, yeah. So yeah, geez, 95.
No, he's so old. Will the workie back on the couch again?
Yes, I'm back on the couch. Rose between two thorns today. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I thought this was a good one because Gow and I have got quite a long history with Dirty Harry. You not so much, and we're going to get into that now with overs and unders.
Yeah, sweet.
54 years old is Dirty Harry, older than anyone here on the couch. And G-Man, we'll start with you. I've set the overs and unders at 25. I think this is one where it could go either way, and there'd be no one would look at you wrong if you're over or under.
Yeah, this is a really hard one to get a number on because this definitely saw it a few times when I was a kid. It was one of those movies that was seen to be on Channel 9 or anything after the footy or
all
whatever.
The time.
It was one of those rerun movies that was always around, along with the other Dirty Harry movies. I would hazard to say I've probably seen the full movie less than 10 times, like from start to finish. But I've definitely seen long stretches of it. If it's on TV, it stays on. You know, if I'm flicking, it's on. So I watched long stretches of the movie. So I thought about that the other night because when the opening scene came, I was like, God, I haven't seen this in a long time. When he comes up the stairs to the rooftop. So yeah, I would, mate, I'd be over 25 of watches.
Okay,
but,
very good. Now, Wilbur.
Yeah.
You're the other end of the spectrum.
That's right, yep.
What are your overs and unders, mate?
Well, I do remember the first time I watched this movie as well. Matt, thanks for asking. And it does bring back a lot of great memories. That was Friday afternoon, just gone. Great memory, reason being because it was the Friday before a long weekend.
Yeah, it's always a great memory.
So it really does hold a dear spot in my heart now.
Yeah.
On that, though, I've seen it twice.
Okay. And well, twice in 4 days.
It's good going.
It's impressive.
If we keep that up by the time I'm your age,
you'll be hundreds.
Yeah.
You'll be hundreds.
You'll
be hundreds.
That's not a bad count, though. I mean, where would Damo be on this? He'd have to be a 2.
Maybe. I think he'd be 2 or 3.
Yeah,
2 or 3 maybe. It's not really. This isn't really a Damo movie, to be honest.
Yeah, right.
No.
It's probably a good thing he's not here.
Massive Schnorbs report in this
Huge Schnorbs report.
Yeah, he could be on.
I've got a bit on the Snorbs.
Okay.
I've got a bit on the Snorbs. Okay, for me, you make a really good point, Gow. This, for me, my main memories is 8:30 Sunday night movie.
Yeah.
And it was one of those ones where I was not allowed to watch. It was, rated R, heavily cut on TV, which, looking at it now, it's so tame. It's really tame for today's standards.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this was the first time I ever saw Muff in a movie. The threesome scene is the first time, and then obviously when they pull the young girl out of the hole. I remember that I couldn't wait to hire it. I'm pretty sure that I taped it off the TV when I first saw it. But I remember when I was 13 or 14 and I could actually hire it from the video shop, I was all over it, and then I went all the way through all of them. Now, Will, having only just seen Dirty Harry, is this your first foray into the movies? You've not seen any
Dirty
others?
Harry
I
movies?
haven't seen any of them.
Okay,
no.
cool. So, Gow, there's 5. No, there's 4. No, there's 5.
5.
So there's this one. There's Magnum Force.
Sudden
There's
Impact.
Sudden Impact, The Enforcer, and Deadpool,
Deadpool.
which was in the 80s, the late 80s with Liam Neeson and Jim Carrey.
Yep.
Now, G-Man, what's your favourite?
That's a tough one. I always like Dirty Harry.
Yep.
As the original, always really like the original.
Yeah.
Magnum Force, really good with the cops. That was the original thought for this movie. That was when they were writing it about having someone in power doing the murdering.
Yep.
The vigilante style. So I always like that. Sudden Impact, is that with Tyne Daly?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's again. I don't know if I could split them. I'd probably say Dirty Harry because it's the original.
Yeah, I love, I'm an original guy. Star Wars is my favorite. Fellowship of the Rings is my favorite. But I think that for this one, I think Magnum Force is my favorite Dirty Harry movie, which is the second one. It's about a group of motorcycle cops that are going around and killing criminals.
Yeah, right.
It's excellent. It's so fucking good.
Now, the
So
Enforcer
good.
was with Tyne Daly. Sudden Impact was with Sandra Locke.
Okay, that's the one where she gets raped. Her
That's the one
sister
she
get
gets raped.
raped
Yep,
under the boardwalk. Some pretty heavy things going on in these movies. But the other ones are worth watching. They're all great. Deadpool is okay. It's doesn't hold a shade to the rest of them. G-Man, why don't you tell us about Dirty Harry?
All right, I've got 3 different taglines for you.
Like them?
See what you think. Detective Harry Callahan. He doesn't break murder cases. He smashes them.
He does.
Number 2, you don't assign him to murder cases. You just turn him loose. And number 3, Dirty Harry and a homicidal maniac. Harry's the one with the badge.
Oh, I like that. I do like that. And you're going to see, I'm not sure whether it's in this trailer, but it's sort of words to that effect. 2 killers. One of them has a badge. It's great.
All right, let me run through this. Harry Callahan is a tough, streetwise San Francisco cop whom they call Dirty Harry. In this action classic, you'll see why, and also why Clint Eastwood's reputation as a premier film star and movie maker is secure. A rooftop sniper, calling himself Scorpio, has killed twice and holds the city ransom with the threat of killing again. Harry will nail him, one way or the other, no matter what the system prescribes.
Yeah, it feels to me, this movie feels to me that it's the first real vigilante cop film.
Yeah.
Where he's the anti-hero. You know, he's not
playing by the rules.
He's not playing by the rules, but he's morally right. But he's got his own way of dealing with it. Treats them the way they deserve to be treated.
It's sort of it's in San Francisco, but Bullets with Steve McQueen's a similar thing. He's
Definitely.
nonconformist cop.
Yeah. And then I don't think we have movies like Death Wish and stuff if we don't have Dirty Harry.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, here's like last week we got a bit screwed by the ET trailer, getting the
20th century remake,
20th anniversary one.
Yeah.
This one is the original theatrical trailer of Dirty Harry. Hang on to your hats.
Let's go.
This is pretty red hot. I just want to check.
Mate, we did one night earlier. We did the intro and we're talking for like 7 minutes, and then Marty goes, "Fuck." Luckily, it was only 7 minutes. Like we could redo it. Fuck.
This is about a movie about a couple of killers. Harry Callahan. And a homicidal maniac. Inventing new ones. Buddy with you.
We've come a long way since 71 with trailers.
Yeah,
mate. Well, that was pretty dry.
They've put, it was about 50 seconds of him talking to Chico's wife.
Yeah.
Which sure gives him the backstory, gives a bit of the backstory, but why wouldn't they just cut to her going, then why do you do this? And him go, I just don't know why.
Yeah.
That's all they needed from that bit.
And why they wouldn't just play that funky track that featured in the last 5 seconds through the whole thing.
So the Lalo Schifrin's score is amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
We'll get to that.
Premature adulation already.
Yeah, I know. It's really, really good. Yeah. Not the best trailer we've had.
I reckon it's up there with maybe the worst.
It's funny because last week it was like that trailer's amazing. E.T. I want to go see that movie. And even The Last Jedi, when me and Damo did it, was like, that's a good trailer. It actually
Yeah, you
looks
guys
good.
were
I want to go
frothing on
see it. You go to the movie, it's fucking terrible. But that trailer does no justice to the movie.
It didn't bring any suspense to it at all,
No.
did it? Didn't really bring in the killer, what was going on in the storyline.
No, it was very, very odd. Anyway, critical thinking. IMDb rates Dirty Harry 7.7 out of 10. Certified fresh, 89% on the tomato meter with a 90% popcorn meter. So it rates very, very well.
That's about right, I reckon, for
Yeah,
a movie
yeah.
of this age and
Groundbreaking.
and how well known it is.
One of the biggest stars ever to do it.
Yeah.
So a good review. Chuck O'Leary from Fantastica Daily. An all-time great that keeps getting better with age. Andrew Robinson's Scorpio gets my vote for the most loathsome movie villain ever.
Mm.
He's a hard one to pick, old Scorpio. He doesn't have a type.
He's just a weirdo,
He's a weirdo. And I've got a few questions about him later on, but he generally with a serial killer, they kill white women or they have a very specific target.
Yeah.
He's ending with kids, which is interesting. Other thing on that about Zodiac, because this is obviously a take on the Zodiac killer happening not long after the Zodiac killer started in '69. So this was still very fresh. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
Scorpio.
very, very different, which makes the movie really good because it's not a stock standard adversary or foe.
Well, no one's safe.
No, he's just and you just don't know what's driving this guy.
Yeah,
apart from the fact that he's a lunatic.
Absolutely. Got a bad review. Now, this is from the Variety staff. Clint Eastwood in the title role is a superhero whose antics become almost satire. Strip away the philosophical garbage, and all that's left is a well-made but shallow running and jumping Mella.
Who was that?
That's from Variety, the magazine.
Wow, that's pretty tough. Running and jumping. I'm not really sure that hits the mark for me.
No, it's harsh. It's hard. I don't think it's satirical at all, the movie. I think the age... So the thing is a lot of these reviews are probably 15, 20 years...
Very post,
Probably well and truly post the movie. I hear it's very difficult to find reviews from 71. I think there would have been a lot of a different viewpoint on it in the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's why you're here, Will, to give us this fresh set of eyes on it.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Anyway, G-Man, ordinary people, or should we say ordinary person?
Well, exactly. We're going to talk a little bit about Clint Eastwood. Bear with me, everyone, because he's such a superstar and we haven't really covered Clint before. And, this movie is made as a vehicle for him or for the star. There's a lot of bit part actors, but not anyone apart from, the adversary. There's not anyone that has huge parts in this movie.
No.
But look, as we said earlier, he was born in 1930, so he's 95 now, Clint, but started his movie career a little late. He was in the 1950s. He landed some bit parts in some films like Revenge of the Creature and a movie called Tarantula. He was digging swimming pools and driving garbage trucks to supplement the money coming in. And he landed his first role in Rawhide in the late 50s. Now, he was on that for quite a few seasons, but he was only a secondary player in that until one of the main characters passed away in real life, and then he was elevated. So that's how he really became a recognizable face to the American audiences, because before that he sort of done anything. So his first big movies were what they call the spaghetti westerns with Sergio Leone. They filmed 3 movies in Italy.
Yep.
He was The Man with No Name, very famous, A Fistful of Dollars, For a Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That was 64, 65, 66.
Yep.
Now they were released in Italy, but not in the US because there was copyright issues, and so his voice was dubbed over for quite a while until they got distribution a couple of years later. So that sort of started racking up some respectable money, and then he was 37 by this stage.
Yeah.
So he's not that young, but he's sort of starting to get a name. So he's gone from those movies from not being really well known, only being a TV face, to being quite sought after. And then, straight into some other cowboy movies, which was his genre, Hang 'em High in 1968. He then did a couple of movies. He did one with Richard Burton called Where Eagles Dare in 1968
That's a great
as well.
movie.
And then the next one may have set back his career a little bit. That was Paint Your Wagon.
Oh, Lee Marvin, the musical.
Yeah, the musical.
Gonna paint your wagon, we're gonna paint it fine. We're gonna use all paste paint because the wood is pine. That's The Simpsons.
Yeah. Well, honestly, you put it on, you think, oh, Clint Eastwood, you put this movie. Have you ever seen it?
No.
It's a musical where Clint starts singing, and it's a western. It's crazy.
Because the wood is pine. I'm gonna find the clip and put it on
put
Instagram.
It up. Oh, but anyway, look. Then we hit the 70s, and this is where he really comes big. Obviously, 71. The first movie he did in 71 was a movie called The Beguiled.
Oh, yes.
And then he made his directorial blue.
Hang on a minute. We need to talk about The Beguiled. It's about like a Civil War soldier that gets taken in by like a convent with all these girls in there, and he fucks them all.
For a second, I thought
and then they
remotely constructive about a movie that Clint Eastwood spoke or to acted in, and then
they turn on him,
and
it was actually just remade not that long ago. I think Colin Farrell is in it.
Yeah, there's Nicole Kidman. Somebody else. Yeah, Kirsten Dunst.
But I think Colin Farrell plays the role of Clint. And but he cuts a swathe, just roots them all.
Yeah,
and they all start to talk, and they realize what's going on. Then they turn on him.
I mean, it's inevitable, isn't it?
It is. Women talk. Bitches be crazy.
Loose lips.
Yeah,
sink ships, don't they?
So they were loose after Clip was done with them.
Morgs.
So yes, look. After that, he made his directorial debut with Play Misty for Me, which was 71 as well. Good movie.
Great movie.
Yeah, really good.
Again, he plays a DJ that a fan goes crazy and stalks him, tries to kill him. Now, do you know
one of his many Sondra Locke movies?
So a little trivia here. I'm killing it today. A little trivia here on Play Misty for Me. When he leaves the burger joint going to kill the robbers at the first 211 outside the bank, when he does his speech on the cinema behind him, he's walking down the street. It's playing Play Misty for Me up on the.
It was right,
sign.
but you're jumping ahead quite a lot, Whitey.
Yeah, I know that, but
listen to this. Actually, Sondra Locke wasn't in Play Misty for Me, was she?
No, she wasn't.
She wasn't. John Larch was though.
You can't forget who the woman was.
Jessica Walter.
Yeah.
But look, so all of a sudden, bang, he's into the 70s. So and Dirty Harry as well. So now he's really really famous. So he's a cultural icon.
Absolutely.
Right, so then we go after that. We go to a whole heap of movies: High Plains Drifter, The Outlaw Josie Wales, back to his cowboy roots.
One of the best movies. So good, Josie Wales.
Yeah. He did 6 movies with Sondra Locke, and that was one of them. One of the first ones out.
Well, he was dating Sondra Locke.
Yeah, he was.
I'm never a huge fan. Could have done better.
But yeah, she was in heaps. So then we had Magnum Force, the Enforcer that we talked about earlier. Yep. Then we had Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. Really good movie.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges. The Gauntlet, another great movie.
It's always thought to have been a Dirty Harry movie, but it's not.
Yeah, because it came in the line. It was 1977, so right in line with all. But then he'd escaped from Alcatraz.
Yeah, awesome.
Another great movie. And then the comedy started. Every Which Way But Loose.
Oh, Philo Better. So good. I watched them both not long ago.
Right Turn, Clyde. Yeah,
so funny.
I love those movies when I was a kid.
They were awesome as kids. I just love. Just the first one's amazing when he's fighting the big fella.
Yeah.
All the trucks in the ring.
Tank.
Yeah, Tank.
But
Tank Murdoch.
Tank
Murdoch. Yeah.
But then the Iger sanction in the late 70s.
I'll tell you what, there's a Smalls report in the Iger sanction, which is next level. Tell you what, our great friend who's going to be loving this episode to bits, Jeffrey J. Bombfiler.
Yeah.
Big Iger sanction guy.
Yeah, loves the Iger sanction.
Big Iger sanction guy, yeah.
Yeah, good movie. It is a really
great
good movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we hit the 80s. So then Any Which Way You Can, the follow-up to Every Which Way But Loose. Then you had Sudden Impact in 83, Firefox, Tightrope, City Heat, Pale Rider, then Heartbreak Ridge.
Oh, so good.
It is such a good movie.
Gunny Highway. Mate, Firefox is great. Tightrope is good too. Tightrope's seedy. Looking for like a serial rapist. He's another copper.
Yeah.
Plays a good copper, Clint.
And then, then the last Dirty Harry movie, The Deadpool in '88.
Mm.
The Rookie 1990.
That's with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah. And then he started doing some other projects. He did a movie called Bird, which was a biopic of Charlie Bird Parker.
Yep.
Jazz musician, because he's a well-known jazz.
Jazz flute. Jazz flute.
Jazz flute.
Yeah.
No, well, he plays a bit of jazz, and he actually plays it in
The Line of Fire.
In the Line of Fire, in the scene when he's at the bar. But yeah, White Hunter, Black Heart, 1990 as well. So, and then obviously he finally got the Oscar credit that he deserved with Unforgiven in '92.
What a movie!
But then he just smashes out movies. A Perfect World with Kevin Costner. First time he's had second billing for a movie for 15 years.
It's got Elijah Wood in it as well, I think.
Yep.
Perfect World.
Yep, as a kid. Bridges of Madison County.
Oh, God. Meryl Streep.
Yeah, started doing the Love movies. Then he did Absolute Power, great movie with Gene Hackman.
Hackers.
And then we started getting some of these directorial ones like $1 Million Baby.
Yep.
With Hilary
He's
Swank and Morgan
directing a lot
Freeman.
of these movies that he's starring in anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But he becomes, I guess, really Unforgiven is when he becomes this like world-renowned director.
Yeah.
Because he wins the Academy Award, but he's been directing for years.
Well, you look at some of these movies he's directed. Mystic River, Sean Penn and Tim Robbins.
Yep.
Really good movie. Flags of Our Fathers. I watched that on the weekend. It was on.
Yeah.
Really good movie. Letters from Iwo Jima. Invictus.
Yep.
Jersey Boys. American Sniper. Fantastic movie.
Yep.
Sully, the one where
It's a
we
great
talk about
movie.
Chesley Sullenberger and the plane.
No thanks, Tom Hanks.
And then we got The Mule,
Yep.
which is
Threesome.
really good. And he's
Has
starring
a
in it as
threesome.
well, and
Has a
Richard
threesome
Jewell.
in it.
He
yeah.
has a threesome in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
At what age?
90.
All right.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
going all right. Yeah, he's doing all right.
Respect.
Yeah, three-way Clint.
Jeez.
But yeah, mate, amazing. I mean,
So he's just done his final movie ever. He's retiring after this. He's done Juror number 2,
yeah, right.
which is great.
so he's actually doing, there is a movie in post-production that he's producing, producer of it, which is The Gauntlet.
Oh, okay.
And it's got Tom Cruise in it.
Mm.
So it's a remake of The Gauntlet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming out soon, hopefully. But look, some sliding doors here. A couple of other people that were up for this movie for Dirty Harry. Paul Newman, Burt Lancaster, Lee Marvin, Frank Sinatra was attached to it for a while.
Mm.
Clint was offered the role of James Bond in Live and Let Die, but thought an English actor should play it, so turned it down.
Mm.
He would have been a different kind of Bond.
It would have gone a different way.
He was offered Al Pacino's role in Any Given Sunday as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Turned it down because he wanted to direct it as well,
Okay.
but wasn't allowed to, so didn't go into that.
He's a legend,
Yeah.
Clint.
He's
hard
done
not to love.
so much stuff. Interesting point on here. You know how he developed? You know he's got the deep, gritty voice.
Yeah.
He developed that because he used to listen to audio recordings of Marilyn Monroe, and he noticed that she had that breathy sort of whisper.
Oh, really?
And then he sort of went, "That's something that works really well." You know, it gives her sex appeal. So he sort of developed that. He did a male version, so he had that low voice.
Overs and unders, 10,000. How many women has Clint slept with? Overs and unders, 10,000.
Oh,
I
He's
mean,
95.
I could chat GPT a simple formula. If you like. I mean,
average per year.
it comes down to minutes per day, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Do you reckon he's so? Wilt Chamberlain, the great basketballer, is world renowned for sleeping with 11,000 women. Do you think Clint's numbers are that strong?
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Those
a
guys are
lot.
on the road every night. They're
That's
in a
a
different
lot.
town every
That's a
night.
lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
yeah, there was a lot of road beef.
A lot of road. Oh,
in
the sportsmen
the
get.
NBA.
I don't think anyone gets more. I don't think anyone gets more vagina than a sportsman.
Yeah,
They're on the road all the time. They're
Yeah.
away from home.
Yeah, there's too much opportunity.
yeah, that and a touring musician.
Yeah,
but even a
actually,
touring
yeah.
musician, you know, yeah, I suppose they go a year round, depending on what hemisphere they want to play in. So if we carry the 3, we go overs. Yeah, I'm thinking.
You thinking 10,000?
Mate, a lot.
I think Clint's got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he's right up there. I think he's right up there.
Yeah, so thank you for bearing with me on that.
Yeah, I get a feeling, Gow, you're a big Clint Eastwood
I
fan.
love Clint. Look, can you go through that list and not go, there's a heap of movies you love?
Hey, there's 30 movies you would love of Clint
Dirty
Eastwood.
Harry,
Easily.
any which ways that, you know, all those movies, I love those as a kid.
It's almost a shame he started. Well, he hit the sort of big time around late 30s. Like he could be one of the longest running actor
Yeah.
involved in the industry people that we have, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's probably not many that would rival that sort of record.
He's a legend. He's an absolute legend.
Yeah.
But let's quickly touch on some of the other casts. We've got Andrew Robinson, who plays this is his first movie as the Scorpio killer. Not a lot of credits after that. Lots and lots of TV work. He was in Hellraiser in '87.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
Great horror.
But
One of the first truly scary movies.
Child's Play 3 in '93 as Sergeant Botnick, and he had a recurring role as Elim Garak on Star Trek Deep Space Nine in the early '90s as well. So,
well, he's also in Cobra. He's the dickhead.
He's in
He's
Cobra,
the dickhead
yep.
captain in that Cobra punches out
yeah,
at the end of the movie.
but I mean, there's a lot of small roles like that, heaps and heaps of TV stuff, and he's actually gone on to direct quite a few episodes of Star Trek series throughout the years and some other things. So,
yeah,
actually got a lot of serious death threats after filming Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, because that killer's loose, right? You know, threatening women, kids, all that kind of thing. So,
Yep.
Apparently, people don't know it's a movie. We got Harry Gardino. he was in the Enforcer as well. He played Lieutenant Bresler.
Yep.
The boss in this. He had a small role in Every Which Way You Can. Another movie, one of the movies I think it was one of Morg's script actually. It's called King of Kings.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And as Whitey touched on before, we had Rennie Santoni as Chico Gonzalez. He was in Cobra as well.
Yep.
Brewster's Millions. Small again. Lots of TV jobbing roles. Not a lot of starring roles after this. The only other one of note was probably John Vernon.
Yep.
As,
The mayor.
as the mayor. He was in He was Dean Wormer in Animal House. He was in The Outlaw Josie Wales as Captain Fletcher.
Yeah. Do you know that he's going to get ahead of the game, but he's 1 degree of Kurt Russell.
Is he?
He was in Gunsmoke. Kurt
Was
Russell
he?
was in Gunsmoke.
Gunsmoke.
Not in the same episode, but same show.
Look, John Vernon was also one of my all-time favourites. Herbie Goes Bananas.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. We'll
Can't
wrap it
wait
up
till we
there.
cover that one.
Holy shit. Okay. 1971 hit sleeper dud.
Hold on. We haven't done.
Oh, sorry, G-Man. Sorry, G-Man.
Yeah,
What about box office? Any Academy Awards? Any buzz? What's going on?
Look, it's hard to get some data that far back. The gross for the movie was around 36 million. Budget of 4 million.
Yeah.
So not a lot of stuff on opening weekends at cinemas, but definitely made its money back. Was a big hit. Came in number 6 for the year money wise. The number 1 movie
Pretty strong year, 71.
Well, we've gone through it before because we've done Willy Wonka. Now, Willy Wonka was in that year, but the best picture was French Connection, and it won quite a few. So William Friedkin won Best Director, Gene Hackman won Best Actor, Jane Fonda won Best Actress for Clute.
Clute.
The number 1 movie was a movie called Billy Jack. Now,
Billy Jack.
yeah, it had the most dollars. So it was a guy called Tom Laughlin. He was the director of writer and the star. He's an ex-Green Beret Hapkido expert. Saves wild horses from being slaughtered for dog food.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds interesting, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes, right. Okay.
But that made Billy Jack made 98 million. You had Fiddler on the Roof, Diamonds Are Forever.
If I were a rich man.
Now we mentioned. Did we mention Diamonds Forever? I don't think we did because remember we watched it a little bit up at Morgs's.
Yes, we did. That's right.
It's the
not
worst Bond ever. Horrendous.
Oh, I remember watching it, just going, "What is this?
What is this?
Yeah, very slow.
Just disgusting."
Anyway, that's really it. That rounds it out. Dirty Harry in at number $6 wise at 36 million.
Very good. Can we do 1971 hit sleeper dud now?
Yes.
G-Man, you've got the hit.
Well, not a lot of movies came out at that time, but I had to go back to The Well and The French Connection.
Yeah.
I watched that. Having never watched it, and Whitey, we've mentioned on this podcast several times, Whitey, so you got to watch it. So I did.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it's really worth the watch.
Mate, it's unbelievable.
Great.
Movie.
Gene Hackman, unbelievable in it.
Yep.
Yeah. Really,
Quality.
really good movie. Stands the test of time. Certainly something that, I'd watch again for sure.
Yep. No, it's a great movie. Will, you've got the sleeper.
I do, and look, I don't think anyone would be surprised if I told them that when you told me to pick a 1971 underground hit, I didn't know what to go to
Yeah.
because I haven't seen anything from 1970.
I thought that might be the case.
Besides Charlie or Willy Wonka, and I do have some vague memories of bed knobs and broomsticks.
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
But I did come across a movie that I thought was worth mentioning. It was Walkabout.
Oh, the Australian movie.
Starring
yeah.
David Gulpilil as
Yes.
a young fella.
Good movie.
It looked fantastic when I watched the trailer. I'm gonna, fess up. I haven't seen the movie, but
Yeah. No, it's great.
Did a bit of reading on it, and look, anything with David Gulpilil in, I'm a fan of. I've always really enjoyed his presence on screen, and I did a bit of reading, and apparently it's quite well received. This movie, Walkabout, it's a fantastic footage in it of our wide brown land.
Well, it's got Jenny Agutter on
Agutter,
it,
yep.
who's from An American Werewolf in London.
Yep,
She gets
she's in
cans
that.
out,
Yep, she
right.
does.
Yep.
and Jenny Agutter is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So-
She looked pretty tidy in
Yeah.
the trailer.
Yeah.
Apparently, a movie about coming of age, how the loss of innocence is inevitable to all of us eventually.
Yep.
But besides that, if you like David Gulpilil movies, I do implore you to watch Charlie's Country, which is a really, really late one that David Gulpilil.
He was
started.
also in Storm Boy, wasn't he?
He was,
Yeah.
the original.
Mate,
Yeah.
just made me cry forever.
Mm.
The original Storm Boy.
Yeah.
The original Storm Boy when I was a kid. That
Oh
was a
my
big
God.
movie.
Did
yeah.
you cry?
Yeah,
Did you
it
cry,
was a
yeah?
good- it was
Oh,
Did you cry when you were 8?
Probably when I was 8. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Not on the
Mr.
rewatch.
Percival.
Mate, he was in Rabbit Proof Fence, Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been
And
in
of course,
everything.
he
Crocodile
was,
Dundee.
he was Neville.
Look, I mean, really, our very own Clint Eastwood in a lot of ways.
Oh, definitely.
you
Definitely.
know.
Definitely. Look, it was very difficult. A bit like you, Will. Very difficult to find a dud because I
Yeah.
don't know much about it. So I went another sleeper.
Okay, that's good.
I make the rules here. Vanishing Point. During the 70s, car delivery driver Kowalski delivers hot rods in record time, but always runs into trouble. Just another road movie. In the sort of feels a little. The movies like Smokey and the Bandit wouldn't exist without this movie. But it's a real hot rod car movie. Cops chasing. It's really a lot of action. It's actually one of Quentin Tarantino's favorites. It's really good. So if you've not seen Vanishing Point, it's got some quality cars in it.
Yeah.
Get on it.
Nice.
Cleveland Little's in it.
Well, yeah.
He's the sheriff from what's the Mel Gibson one? What's it called? The Mel Gibson Western. Mel Brooks Western.
Oh, Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles, yeah.
Blazing Saddles. Great movie, Blazing Saddles. Would not be made today. But, I digress. Question time. Got a few questions for this one,
Go for it.
boys. So at the start of the movie, incredible start to a film through the scope, right? But my question is, how does he shoot the girl in the pool through the back when he's in front of her? So he's got it through the scope, and it's on her chest, and next thing the shot hits her in the back, and then there's no other exit wound. There's no exit wound. There's no nothing.
No, it goes straight in the shoulder too.
Yeah, I don't know how he gets it there
Would've
from where
hurt.
he is. Definitely
hurt.
Well, yeah.
Look, I rewound and went through and rewound and went through. I'm a real studier of the swimming technique, especially freestyle. And a massive component in correct technique is a rolling of the hips, but trying to keep your shoulders fairly
Oh,
stationary.
Right.
Her, obviously, freestyle technique is poor at best.
Do you think she's tilted?
She's rolled his shoulders
Yeah,
a
right.
little,
Okay.
and he's picked his moment. Obviously, he knows a good stroke when he sees it.
Well, he knows the kill shot.
Yeah.
He knows when he's open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take you.
You don't often see someone die from a shoulder wound.
No,
A lot of people just come back with a wounded arm, but
Yeah.
she's dead
she's dead
in the back of the shoulder.
automatically.
Yeah.
Dead. Okay. Now, has there ever been a cooler cop than Harry Callahan?
No. How good is he when he's walking with his
and
sunnies?
you're actually, Will, you're the perfect person to ask because you are fresh on this.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a cooler cop?
No, there hasn't.
No.
The guy is stone cold.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing. And I've got another question about it. We'll move into this. Now, I just watching in the trailer, it answered my question. Now I'm going to put yourself in Harry's shoes.
Uh-huh.
You're eating your hot dog.
Yeah.
All shit breaks loose. You've
Yeah.
just taken your first bite and you're chewing it.
Yeah.
He walks out, still chewing the hot dog,
Yeah.
and shoots these guys. Do you just spit the hot dog out?
Well, any normal man would.
You'd think so, right?
He continues to chew.
He chews as he's shooting.
You know what? Not only is he the coolest cop in the world, but he also informed an entire generation on how to chew properly.
Yeah.
To digest your food. Because that guy chewed that one bite of hot dog. I don't know. He might have got 60 chews in over that.
Few minutes.
Took 5 scalps
Yeah, he
and
did.
60
Yeah,
chews.
but he also like sits there and he there's the car over there still there,
Yeah.
and he sits there and goes, tell him there's a 211
211.
a 211 in progress. Just very cool.
Yeah.
Like doesn't sort of get the gun. Although to be fair, he does say wait for the backup. He's like, I'm going to sit here, and then he sort of goes, oh,
Damn it.
Dang it.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Now, another question, and Will, I think you'll answer this in the affirmative, but there's no more iconic movie gun than the 44 Magnum, is there?
No, there isn't.
Because the first thing that you said to me when I said Dirty Harry, you said, I haven't seen it,
But I know
but
that
the
there's
44
a
Magnum.
big ass revolver in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like that. That was just one of those things that's so known for this movie, and they saw uptakes of sales in the
Yeah,
US
for sure.
after all of
They
the
did.
Surprisingly.
after all of the Dirty Harry movies, because people just wanted 40, even though they are terrible. I've shot one.
Oh,
Yeah, we shot them on our honeymoon. Christy and I we went to Hamilton Island, and they've got the little gun range there.
Oh,
We
yeah.
shot them there, and they got a massive kick on them. Like how anyone.
Huge.
There's no way you're
recoil.
going to shoot them one hand.
yeah.
Like
Well, Harry does.
yeah.
And he's a
does.
damn good shot. As you see in Magnum
I
Force.
remember as a kid, like you're thinking, yeah, he just used this gun with this massive long barrel that nobody else uses. Everyone's got
Yeah.
like a standard. He just used this massive gun. Why would he need that? But
He's compensating.
Yeah.
He's compensating. Okay. How many blokes in the neighbourhood have been through Hot Mary?
I was trying to think of her name. I couldn't think of it. Hot Mary. That's it. Yeah,
Like, because
they all knew these.
they all knew it's Hot Mary's boyfriend for this week.
But hang on, Hot Mary lives on the first floor.
Yeah.
Right. And gets that guy and that has all the curtains open, and then gets all offended when she thinks someone's looking in.
But those guys are standing there because they were spewing that he was on the freaking bin, I reckon. They were all taking turns. It was like she's the 71 equivalent of Bonnie Blue. Except
yeah.
guys just hop up on the bin to have a look at her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's getting paid from the guys out in the alley too.
Oh, for
It's
sure.
one of the niches.
For
isn't
sure.
it?
For sure. How many times a week is Harry washing his hair to get it that buffy? Is it a daily wash for Harry?
Mate, he's got good hair.
How good's his hair?
Yeah.
Unbelievable hair for a man of his age.
When you're getting a haircut, Harry.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, it's really good. That's prime. That's prime Clint.
So I reckon it's daily wash.
Yeah. Again, he taught an entire generation of men to get good hair and tailor your suit, say. Like tailor your pants.
Oh, yeah.
Everything fit him.
He was 41 when this movie was made. He's running around with the patches on the arms.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
His
suits and
little
everything.
tweed coat with a
The tweed coat. Yeah.
Yeah, mate, he's very stylish.
Dapper, eh?
Very stylish. Do you think a topless bar that has amateur topless competitions is a good place to find a wife? What are we thinking?
Depends on what you want in a wife.
I was cacking when he walked outside and it said amateur topless competition. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is the best bar ever.
There's a whole little row of them, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was a really seedy part of San
Tell you
Francisco.
what, the Scorpio killer walks out of there. Then Harry sits there for a while, finishes his drink, and then just meanders out. Doesn't know which way he's gone, but still manages to find him
Oh, for
pretty
sure.
quick.
Yeah, no, he doesn't mind.
Harry likes a pair of tits. I mean, it was established.
You've got to stay and wait.
It was well established in a few different scenes. It cost him a couple of pricey kills.
Definitely.
He was distracted on a number of occasions.
He distracts easy, Harry.
Yeah.
Distracts easy. Okay, so are we to believe that they're making us think that Scorpio's a pedo as he stops in the park and watches the kids?
It was. I had thoughts about this. I think it was just clever positioning. It was like because the immediate emotion you feel when that fucking weirdo wobbles out on his limp in a park with kids everywhere.
Yeah.
You immediately just go, oh, but he doesn't actually do anything besides you know,
Yeah, because Dirty Harry's just following him around. And it's just like everyone's congregated in the park in San
Yeah.
Francisco, so he's just following him around where the little kids. But it just adds that level of like he's
And then he kidnaps the kids.
yeah.
So in the end,
yeah,
now it's quite funny. Well, probably a good place to mention it, but I've been watching this doco on Netflix called "This Is the Zodiac Speaking," and just by chance, obviously. And one of the letters that the Zodiac wrote was he said that he was going to kidnap a school bus of kids.
right.
So I think they've probably just used that and gone, okay, well, we'll just get him to kidnap a school bus of kids.
Well, it was, and the character's loosely based on one of the guys, one of the detectives that was involved
for sure.
in that.
Yeah, definitely. So, but yeah, it didn't know what they were sort of angling. Is he a pedo? How bad? It's like how bad can we make this guy?
But it was just taking that and putting that and placing it there just to make you go, oh, don't no.
Yeah.
Where's this going now?
Yeah.
You know, like that. Yeah.
So there was supposed to be a bit of a backstory with Andrew with the Scorpio killer, and that was that he was an ex-soldier that had come back, and then he from Vietnam, and then he had PTSD, and then he turned into a psycho, like with all the things that he'd seen and happened to him over there. That's why he's lost his mind, basically. So I think they're sort of doing that because he's when they cast him, Clint Eastwood saw him doing stage because he was a stage actor, like a lot of them are, and he saw him doing that, and he was like, he's got the right amount of boy next door looks to sort of pull this off. Like he's not this crazed looking serial killer. He's this normal looking guy who just can pull off this weird. You just don't know where you stand with him.
He definitely has an odd look. Like he does.
Yeah.
They did well to get someone with a bit of a weird looking presence about him. Like he is an odd looking dude.
Yeah.
His hair, the whole package.
Yeah. But I think the brief was like a choir boy look. They wanted a choir boy looking guy that was just, it was a bit disconcerting to look at. Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to get an idea about what each of us think about him, Harry throwing the badge away at the end. What's the symbolism of that? What do we think that means?
So I think I was watching when he did that, and I thought maybe obviously they're not thinking it's sequels at that time, but he was told not to go near him. He went and got him, put him in the stadium, did all of that. Then they set him free. Then he followed him again. Then they said, you are to stay away from him. You're not to go near him. Then he did. He just went, right, thanks for that. And then went to the bridge and got him, right? So then I think he thought, well, my career's over because I was told by the mayor not to go anywhere near him. Yeah. So he's thinking that's the end of his career, but that guy needs justice. And one of the themes that Clint Eastwood had throughout the movie is that where's the justice for the girl that was killed?
For sure.
Like, why does he get the justice and not her? So that was what he just went, you know what? He's gone.
Yep. I completely agree with you, Gary. I think he's throwing that away thinking, well, my career's over anyway.
Yep.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I've done my job. I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, he's been failed because he feels like bureaucracy is failing him. And also, they're more than happy to send him in as a scapegoat for the cops or for
Dirty Harry,
the police department's ultimate failures. I mean, we'll get. I'm sure we'll go into it. How do you let a case like that fall through in the first place?
Yes,
you know what I mean. Like, there's a failure there from the district attorney's office and everything else, and then
all that stuff. Like, we can't prosecute him. Like, mate, we know he's the killer. They know he's the killer.
But surely,
for the ransom.
Yeah, surely he's got due cause to search. Due cause to go in and search. They know he's the guy.
He's a cop. Surely on his testimony, I chased him. I stabbed him in the leg.
Yeah.
This guy has a stab wound in his
leg. The doctor
leg.
says that guy came in. He works across the road.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
A whole lot of circumstantial
There's a girl
evidence.
dying.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's the whole thing. They go, oh, what about her rights? And like, oh, well, you can't do it. He's going to get. I don't think he's going free from all of that.
No. Okay. Last one. Where does Harry sit for movie runners? Now, at the top, we've got Tom Cruise, Mel Gibson, and I'm going to throw Keanu Reeves in there. Does some good running in Point Break. Looks good doing it. Right? At the bottom, we obviously have Harrison Ford and Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Right? They're obviously the real bottom. I think Clint is a no-nonsense runner. He's got a good technique.
Straight back.
There's not a lot of movement.
Nice gate.
He's got a strong gate.
Yeah, good gate.
Back,
I think he's a good runner.
Yeah.
I'm willing to put him in up the probably not right up at the top because I don't think he's got a lot of speed. I think he's got a lot of.
He has economy of movement.
He does. He's got a lot of
and can be relied on when he's got to go from phone to phone.
This is it.
Yeah.
Got there quick.
Did,
I'm
yeah,
glad we
stamina.
agree. I'm glad
Stamina.
we agree. Well done, boys. Question time out. Born to watch only fans. Now we've got some lick outs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. After last week's episode.
Moggy's debut.
Yeah. So Megan's debut, we had an email come through on the website. Hi, Whitey and team. Loved your ET episode, one of your best. Just wanted to provide some feedback on your very, very special guest, Moggy 202. Moggy 202 added a touch of class, which is what I think has been missing for the last 146 episodes. Perhaps next time you are contemplating a 4-ball edition, you should consider throwing in a bit of old vagina as well. Thanks for your consideration, Oggy 202.
Oggy.
Yes.
Oggy 202.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's out of the blue.
Mm.
Glad to see we got. All I can think of when I hear of Oggy 202 is Gareth on The Office.
Oggy, Oggy, Oggy.
Oggy, Oggy.
Now,
That was Oggy.
I got to say,
It's sort of the best thing to me when you see him waiting for it. Oggy, Oggy, Oggy.
Who was
Oggy.
that?
Yeah.
Who was that? then?
who was that?
that
Who was on the
Oggy?
phone?
Is that Oggy?
Who was on the phone? So funny. Now, I got to say, though, this Oggy 202 must know Megan quite well. She's got the old vagina bit right. Yeah, she's right on the mark there. She's right on the mark. Now, we've got another text message that Megan got from I'm going to say probably a very close friend of hers. Listening to the ET podcast. Good job, Mog. And then she goes, Matt should make you a regular guest, which won't be happening.
Yeah,
But thank
all right,
you,
okay.
Jackie from WA.
Matt
That's
does
our
give a
second WA listener with Maddie.
Maddie
I
Big.
enjoyed hearing Megs come on and have a little chat about her favourite movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she loves
It
it.
was
She
good.
did.
It was
She did good.
She's been pestering for nearly 3 years now. So
You guys did really well not to descend into an absolute all-out domestic argument.
no,
It was good.
no, mate. I tell you what, we've got a couple of voicemails
Oh,
as well. So here we go. Here's the first one,
all right.
and this is, I'm pretty sure, from Maddie Beer Geek.
G'day, Whitey and the team. Just want to drop a quick line, say that the solo pods over the break were pretty awesome. Well done, Whitey. Line of Duty is an absolute banger. Love it. And great job on the Star Wars pod. You reminded me how much I hated that movie. Well, I didn't know how much I hated it until you clearly spelt it out, which made me furious because they've just destroyed the whole thing. They could have done so much more. So that was disappointing info, but great pod. Okay, thanks, boys.
Big Geek.
Beer Geek, what a legend. He'll be on the show soon. And it sounded like I actually fed him something there, but I didn't. That's all Beer Geek.
Hi there. Look, some of the best listening on this pod is when there's vitriol.
Yes, I agree.
And when you guys are motivated by it, there's something you go to another level.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, you and Damo were on another level that time.
We were on a tear for The Last Jedi. Now we've got another one. I'll tell you what, it's the Maddie. It's the Maddie night for voicemails. This is from Maddie D from Middle Age Movie Podcast.
Hey guys, Matty D here from the Middle Age Movie Reviews podcast. Been listening to your show for quite some time. Really enjoyed your review of E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I just want to point out a little factoid for you guys that might help you in a future episode. But so E.T. the Extraterrestrial, not only did it have a year-long release back in 1982, but it was actually re-released to theaters in 1985. And that's the first time I got to see it in the theater, which was really cool. But yeah, I think you guys did a great job covering the episode or covering the movie, and I look forward to many more episodes from you guys. And one last thing, The Last Jedi is probably by far the worst Star Wars movie in existence, in my personal opinion. But hey, don't take it from me. Just listen to the guys' episode on, and looking forward to hearing more from you guys. Talk to you later.
I tell you what, it's
Matty
not.
G, nice work. Thanks for
He's a
that.
good fella, Matty D. We've worked together on The Princess Bride, which was a good episode, a lot of fun. It's nice hearing an American accent, actually.
Yeah.
Listening to the pod,
It-
which
it
is
is
The
just
1985
nice.
re-release.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That
Was there a 1998 re-release when you finally watched it?
No, that was I watched a little bit of that, mate. 1993 or 90, I think I watched it for
93,
the first time.
There you go. You guys mentioned the BMX bike. My first BMX bike ever was a Kuwahara. It brought
Oh,
back
was
a
it
lot-
Kuwahara?
It was, yeah. It brought back a lot of memories. My dad found it in the trading post, and I reckon I had it for 2 months, and then it got stolen by a junkie called Pelican from up around the corner. I never saw it again, and I have a Kuwahara shaped hole in my heart to this day.
I can imagine. Pelican.
Oh, Pelican.
What a pelican.
He was a cretin, that guy.
I could imagine he would have been.
And,
Nothing
yeah.
worse than a Central Coast ice addict.
Ah, well, evidently there isn't. Because that was that bike was, it was a nobody had a Kuwahara.
No.
No one. I don't know where my dad found it. It was ridiculous.
What was he asking?
I think I don't know. Well, back in the day, it was probably 1995, 94.
Yeah.
I reckon he probably paid $200 for it. Which was
Yeah,
up
yeah.
there, right?
Tell me he's dreaming.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
goes to
Well,
the trading post. So
yeah.
good.
yeah, that's what we got all our BMX bikes at one
So
stage.
good. People, now is the time. We're asking for your help. Share the podcast to anyone you think might be interested in Dirty Harry or E.T. or any of the movies that we have covered.
Or Megan.
Or Megan's friends. Share them to Megan's friends. Also, do what the boys have done. Get on, leave us a voicemail. You will get listened to on the show live, which is amazing. Send us emails. Just touch base with us. We love hearing the feedback, good or bad. We don't care. It's all good. No such thing as bad publicity.
No.
But organic growth is the best way. So just share to your friends, and let's take Born to Watch to the stratosphere.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to start with the worky.
All right.
What do you got for good, mate?
Mate, I'm starting to sound like a broken record because every movie I come on and I start with the good. I start off with the soundtrack. And this one did not disappoint.
So good.
The fella Lalo Schifrin is an Argentinian composer.
Yep.
And he knocked it out of the park. And it was just, it's the whole movie is just full of funk, Afrobeat, and jazz. Just like weird little skibbity bass.
There's so much hi-hat.
Oh,
There's so much hi-hat.
Just a lot of bass and
Yeah,
Oh, man. Yeah. And it's
so good.
just the vibe setter
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Skibbity bat drums and Clint Eastwood walking down a dark road combined is it.
Yeah.
It's just the perfect visual.
Nah, the soundtrack's next level. You know, Lalo Schifrin did the original Mission Impossible thing.
Yep. He also did Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah, makes sense.
Great movie.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit on. Here's something I looked up about Lalo Schifrin. This is awesome. The 1971 score folds Schifrin's classical training and years as jazzman into a context that's undeniably charged by the contemporary electric excursions of Miles Davis. Its cues for renegade San Francisco detective Harry Callahan are variously driven by restless, propulsive electric bass, a small string ensemble, East Asian percussion, and spare Fender Rhodes lines.
Come
A
on.
musical tack that will be revived a quarter century later and hailed as acid jazz.
Oof.
But in portraying the serial killer Scorpio, Schifrin fuses the anxiety of 20th century classical modernism with electric psych rock, then overlays it with an eerie, wordless soprano.
Yeah, it's female. There's female vocalists
Yeah.
that whenever Scorpio's on,
Yeah.
there's a. It's
So they
good.
did that because that was supposed to be the voices in his head.
in his head.
And
yeah.
so he's got all these voices in his head. So that's what they were trying to bring out.
Yeah.
It was excellent. It was a massive part of the movie. I really enjoyed it.
Huge.
Really good. Casual hot dog chewing.
It's amazing.
Oh, it was so good.
It's amazing.
So good. Oh, just it. I don't know if it was it's meant to be a major part, right? Because
It's made too much of for it not to be. It's
Yeah.
just to show
this
How
guy
cool he is.
just not ruffled
Yeah.
in the slightest. Is
just
he?
eat his hot dog, shoot 5 people.
I liked the lack of dialogue at the start of the movie for a good little period of time until he finally finds this note, and then I
Yes.
forget what he said. But
He
his
goes,
first
something like-
he goes like Jesus.
son of a
Something like
bitch,
that.
or
Something like
yeah,
that,
yeah. Kind of set the mood of how he operates. It's kind of yeah. I'm not going to take all of them.
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. G-Bang.
Well, as you can tell, I had Lalo Schifrin as well.
Yeah, I think we all do.
That was just, I love that music. That just is so, I mean, you just know what you're watching when you hear that
Yeah.
background. Great. Clint Eastwood himself as Dirty Harry, just so cool.
Yeah.
What we just said. The stadium scene
Oh, it's so the stadium skiing is so good.
I just remember that as a kid and thinking, wow, like
Just the pullback.
yeah, when he
And
does
just
that,
leaves him
when
in
he
the
leaves
middle
him
of the
screaming,
pulls
and it
away. Yeah,
he goes, take a walk to
Yeah.
Giorgio.
take a walk, Fatso.
Take a walk, Fatso. And of course, the other one is when the bus comes down, he's standing on the bridge.
Mate,
Yeah, it's a
It's
great
just
shot.
like
There's
you
a-
see him look up, you see the fear in Andrew Robbins'
but not
eyes,
only that,
Scorpio's
there's a
eyes.
shot that I only realised this time where it's looking through the windscreen. You can see Harry in the windscreen.
Yeah.
With him and the bus driver, and he's in the. It's so
Yeah.
fucking good.
Yeah,
So good.
Yeah.
just coming down, see him just standing there,
Casually
waiting,
waiting.
patiently waiting in his suit,
Yeah.
knowing that he's coming down there.
It's just game
Really,
over.
really good.
Anything else, G?
No, that's it.
Okay, I've got a little bit. The start, you know, from the first second what you're in for, right? Through the scope, the music, the shot, Harry. We talk about him finding the note. Then the movie sort of kicks off, and I love the credits playing over all of it.
Yeah.
So fucking good. I just really love that. You've mentioned the Layla Schifrin, you've mentioned Clint Eastwood. He's just so fucking good. But the Harry and the mayor face off at the start. So I've just got it could be in quotables, but I've just got the back and forth. But I love this. The mayor, Callahan. I don't want any more trouble like you had last year in the Fillmore district. You understand? That's my policy. Harry. Yeah, well, an adult male is chasing a female with intent to commit rape. I shoot the bastard. That's my policy. The mayor. Intent? How'd you establish that? Harry. When a naked man is chasing a woman through a dark alley with a butcher knife and a hard-on, I figure he isn't out collecting for the Red Cross. And then he leaves, and the mayor. I think he's got a point. I just think it's so fucking good. But just Harry says that and just walks out.
Yeah.
You know,
He's
it's
just so good because he never raises his voice. You see, he
Yeah.
gets angry, but
Yeah.
he just keeps the same level.
I think he's got a point.
Yeah, he's simmering rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've mentioned the hot dog chewing. I think that whole bank, the whole thing, him walking in,
Yeah.
getting his hot dog, is the car running? How do you know? We'll check if there's any exhaust coming out, and there's so much exhaust coming out.
Oh,
But
the
there's
poor
none when he comes around the corner.
I love the bar. I love the guy behind that
Yeah.
poor environment.
Yeah. The sound of his gun, the 44 Magnum, the gunshot, so powerful, so good. I've mentioned Play Misty for me. The speech, which becomes iconic, is incredible. The doctor, when he's after the bank robbery, he's in getting his stitches, and he goes, "I'm going to take the pants off. Paid $21.39 at da 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 da." And then he goes, "Do you think you could just do it without taking the pants off?" And the doctor says to him, "Do I come down the station and tell you how to beat a confession?" Just like, yep, this is the 70s, so good. I love the Zodiac. I love Scorpio's not afraid of a daylight kill.
Yeah. No.
Right. So, and there is, and I love that. So there's two kills that happen in the daylight, right? Which is just incredible. Most of the stuff happens in these movies happens at night, which there's a fair bit that does, but I think it's a bold move. I love that it's effectively the Zodiac killer that they're using, communicating with the cops, the letters, the school bus, all these different things that ties them together.
Well, Scorpio's a zodiac sign.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So the threesome for no reason. So just up on the roof, just so he can just get again, get his attention taken away. Just distracted.
Harry's a bit of a voyeur, isn't he? He seems to run into
he
a
loves
few.
He loves them.
There's like, how do we distract the coolest cop out? Threesome.
That's how threesome. And not only that, she just answers the door naked, the girl, just brings them in.
Yeah.
Into the lounge room, and then it's sort of just game on. As I said, first muff that I'd seen on film. Unforgettable.
Yeah.
You mentioned the stadium scene, Gow. Stop, then he shoots him. So stop, he stops, shoots him anyway. I need a lawyer, then stepping on him, then the pullback. It's just incredible. You've mentioned Harry on the overpass. And then the end, when it's just like, he doesn't give a shit about that kid. He knows he's gonna miss the kid and just blows him away. It is so good. It's so good. And again, you get the double mix of the, how many bullets have I fired?
Yeah.
And he knows he's
lucky punk.
He knows he's only fired 5. It's game over. The bad G-Man will go to you.
Okay, look, opening scene, she gets shot dead in the shoulder, the worst shoulder shot ever.
Yeah. Died of shock.
They obviously come and they, they take the body away in the end, and he goes up to the roof and they look down, and then when he looks down and he sees them taking the body away, there's still blood curdling through the water.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
like, how could that blood still be there? Now
Yeah.
that's going to be taken through like that's not sitting in the water hours later.
And there's also not a lot of blood. Surely the
No.
body would have been in there
She bled
bleeding out for
What are they,
some time.
Eight pints or
Yeah.
something in
So
there?
there's not a lot of blood.
Yeah, there's just a little bit. I was like,
Yeah.
they've just thrown a bit of blood in the water to make the scene. I was like,
Yeah.
it's not going to happen like that. Anyway,
And
100
not only that, he walks however long
yeah,
he
that's
walks
what
for,
I mean.
and then they're only just getting her out of the water.
So it's been hours.
Yeah.
There must have been hours
Yeah.
between all of that,
Yeah.
and then there's still blood just sort of sitting in the thing in the water. I was like, righto.
Yeah.
Cool. 100K, be better, Scorpio killer.
Yeah.
Ask for more money.
Ask for. I looked at it adjusted for inflation in today's rates. That's $770,000.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take people out, you're asking. Come on, you're asking for more than $100,000.
Yeah.
Come on, for sure.
Although he is a bit loopy in the head, so who knows?
Yeah.
The other one I had was when he gets the guy off the roof, the jumper.
Yep.
And he starts fighting with him, and then he knocks him out.
Yep.
How is that going to help if you're
Yep.
trying to get someone down like a limp?
But not only that, he knocks
dead
him out.
weight.
He knocks him out, and then
The
the guy.
shortest right you've ever seen.
But not only that, the guy falls, but doesn't fall off the thing. Falls and then still hanging on, and then he grabs him. It's like he knocked him out. He just would have gone.
he would have gone backwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny because like the worst thing you do is like be trying to hold a limp body.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Clint directed that scene
yes.
because Don Siegel wasn't on set or was on set but didn't direct it. Clint.
Well, there
directed
was a story that he was supposed to be sick, but it wasn't. He was always going to direct that
it.
scene.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, the other one I had was at the clock tower part when they're doing the handover. And by the way, red ski masks are awesome for that bit.
Yeah.
Good ski masks. But he shoots Chico Gonzalez, and he's shot. He's down, and then Harry stabs him in the leg.
Great
Now-
scream.
Now
Great scream.
it's good scream. Good
Yeah.
It's a shriek.
It's a great scream.
It's
Um,
almost comical.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like a bit of slack.
Yeah. Now what? He was about to shoot Harry. He was going to shoot Harry.
Yeah.
Knocked him to the ground. Said, "See you later. I'm going to kill you." And then Chico starts shooting. And Chico gets shot. Then Harry stabs him in the leg, and he just walks off, limps off.
Limps off.
Now
Falls
he's
down
got
the-
a gun standing over him.
Yeah.
Why does he not shoot Harry dead there?
Yeah.
He wanted to kill him. If a guy just stabbed me in the leg and I had a gun, you're probably going to shoot him.
Yeah.
And he was the only one that knew who he was too. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Just that sort of struck me as odd. I was like, why would he just limp off?
He had a couple opportunities to kill Harry.
Mm.
Yeah.
The only thing that got me about it was I understand he didn't want him dead because he wanted him alive for whatever reason, but he was already about to shoot him when Chico ran up the hill. He was going to execute.
He was.
Anyway,
Right.
that's it.
Well done, G.
Mm.
Wilbur.
What have I got? Bloody Zodiac Killer's limp run.
Yeah.
Like, it's the worst.
It's a massive hop.
It's this. I don't know what leg he's limping
Yes.
on half the time. He's jumping on the bad one.
Yeah.
He's running on the good. Like he's all over the shop. He's
Yeah.
like, it was obvious he'd never practiced. How am I going to run with a limp? Because
Yeah.
it was like watching a junior high school kid in a play trying to act like he was limping.
I noticed that, like, obviously he's limping. I noticed the worst when he was at the end at the mine.
Yeah,
And he was running out to where the
Off
kid was.
bus or yeah.
It was like he was doing the triple jump.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
It
ridiculous.
was really bad. He was hopping on the wrong leg. He was only doing every second one. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
gee.
Yeah. Classic early 70s type casting of like African American population. The only time they ever featured in the movie was when they were criminal.
Criminal.
Like it was really stark to see.
It's
Like,
really funny. The guy that's on that he says, you got to ask yourself a question. He's actually in a later
right.
Harry movie, Dirty Harry movie.
Again,
As a
you
goodie.
You remind me, what motivation? You've a guts to know.
A guts to know.
Guts to know.
Like,
The
does that
best.
mean like you're gonna shoot me?
Just
or
shoot me.
Just shoot me. Because
Yeah, that's what he means. Is I got to know. Would I
Would I've
have won this?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
never winning, mate.
Never ever.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
it.
all I got. Yeah.
Okay. I've got, and it's of course it's a movie, but zero regard for public safety. That 211, the bank shootout, he's shooting. There's 100 people around, and he's just shooting.
yeah, he's just shooting.
He's
randomly.
judge, jury,
shooting
and
down the road,
executioner.
He doesn't give a
man.
fuck who. As long as he hits someone, he doesn't care who it is.
Yeah.
So Scorpio starts off with a gun, a rifle with a silencer, and then moves to the loudest machine gun
know.
on planet Earth.
I actually went trying to find, was there was there an obvious change of guns at some point where he just went to a set like an automatic?
No,
Like,
he just moved on to the he just went to the when he used the automatic when he was at the threesome scene. That was the first time the automatic where he shot them up on the roof.
Yeah.
I guess it's better because they get more spray from a cinematic perspective rather than having to clock it, shoot one shot.
Yeah.
I understand it from that perspective, but
but he's on rooftops snipering people.
Yes,
like, that's what he's there for.
Yeah, with a fully submachine gun.
Yeah, like
it was an odd choice to have the submachine gun.
It was an odd choice. We've already mentioned it, but the district attorney scene shits me to tears. They're so smug. All the people of power.
Yeah, the bureaucracy, man.
The bureaucracy is so smug. Like like the mayor keeps him outside for 45 minutes or an hour, and then when Harry first comes in, the district attorney says, "Come in," but then doesn't just wait.
Yeah,
it's just the smugness of the bureaucracy. But then it's like, I'm sorry, I don't care if you've got some fucking judge with a penny pincher moustache sitting on the couch. He's allowed to break into that stadium. There's enough proof and evidence that he's the killer.
They know it was the killer because he's got the limp in the leg. Yeah. Like he's talked to him, he's seen him.
Sure, he does torture him to obviously get him to confess. But still, all the evidence is there.
But that would be so circumstantial because there's no way you say, "Oh, he stood there and trot on my leg."
Yeah,
unless Harry says, "Yeah, I did."
But
you say, "No, he had a leg injury."
I've got that in ugly. I've got that in ugly, and we'll get to ugly in a sec. But then I've got another one. Why is there random buffalo just in a field on a suburban street in San Francisco?
It's a herd of cows, wasn't it? Was it buffalo or was it cows?
No, it was buffalo, man.
Calves and stuff.
It was buffalo. Pretty sure it was Chumani Tutanka Owachi. Owachi. Chumani Tutanka Owachi. Just in the middle of San Francisco. Still, it's the urban cowboys.
Mate, it was the good old San Francisco.
Wasn't it? God. Okay, ugly. Wilbur, you got anything?
Yeah. Scorpio, when he goes in the bar and he's shooting the shit with the bartender, and the guy's like, "What happened to you? What would you say if you had a broken nose?"
Oh my God! Oh yeah, but
I had a car accident and I smacked my face on. No,
I bashed my wife.
I beat my wife, and then my wife's brother beat me. What a dead set psycho.
Weird.
Why would you come up with that as an excuse? And then the bartender's like,
right. But I guess back in the 70s, it wasn't. It was a bit, DV must have been a thing.
Was it just that much more prolific?
I just cook me some eggs.
That's honestly the only thing about ugly was just like, that was weird, man. Like,
it was weird.
I think it just gets to play to his character more, like
how weird he is.
It's just weird. And he goes, "Oh, like that's the excuse." And I was like, "Oh, it's car accident."
That's where his brain goes.
No, I beat up my wife. Yeah. Like he's just his brain's not quite there.
So, I hit her and her brother hit me. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. G-Man?
No, nothing.
Okay, I've got two things. So we'll touch on it. You've touched on it. Again, Scorpio's everything he says is taken verbatim as the truth, and Harry's not believed.
Yeah.
And in the hospital, he's being interviewed. It was Harry Callahan. It was Inspector Harry Callahan. He just goes, "It wasn't me, mate. You're the cop. Wasn't me." Okay, cool. The other thing is, where do you find a guy in 71 to beat you almost to death? Like, are they now? You'd have like Craigslist or something where they'd look on and they go, or the dark web, and you'd find someone.
Yeah.
Like, I guess there must just be random dudes that you'd find and give them $100, they beat the shit out of you. But I thought that was a bit odd. But
yeah. Just found a guy that said, "Come in here."
But also, like, the guy kicks him out like he lives there. He sort of kicks him and then throws him out. It's like it's some ruin.
Yeah.
Like, it's my house. Get out of my house. And it's like a slum. Anyway, the thing that I laughed at the most, he's got to run through the dark tunnel. The thugs in the tunnel are the dorkiest thugs.
What's in the bag?
In there, give me the bag. And he just smashes them within a second, pulls the gun out, and they're like, "Okay, we're out."
Yeah. Well, I thought about that. Like, why didn't you say, like, get out of my way and then just pull the gun out? Like, you got a magnum, people are going to go right. Instead, no, he beats a couple of them up.
But if you're the thugs and you're in the dark, Don't you just prep a weapon if you think someone's going to walk through? And what are the chances? Are you waiting in there for someone to walk through that tunnel to
It's
mug
San
them?
Francisco. There are gay men everywhere.
Oh, Alice.
Every single
My friends call me Alice.
Every single dark alley. Every time those white guys pop out and they beat him up, they're all there to hook
Yeah.
up with each other,
Yeah.
man. It's
I
bloody
don't-
San Francisco.
Well, I didn't get it. Like they were deep dark into the dark.
Man.
Now I understand if they were standing at the front of the tunnel in the light, like they were just lurking there. But yeah, why would three guys just be hanging in the tunnel? Just are they just waiting for someone to walk through and go right?
Well, they like, my friends call me Alice.
I'll do anything for a dare.
I'll do anything for a dare.
So
So funny. All right, well done, gents. That's it for Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Obviously brought to you by our great friends at Gage Roads Brew Company. Waiting for our latest supply to come. G-Man, you must be fanging for a single fin.
Can't wait.
It'll be nice to
can't
have a
wait
few
for a
beers on the
single
show
fin.
again. Sorry, we
Yeah.
don't have one here for you. Will we?
it's been warm.
Yeah,
It's really been
it
a
has
warm
been.
few weeks,
been awful.
guys. Get that pallet over,
Yeah,
please.
it's en route. Dan's quick fire, which is Whitey's quick fire tonight. Say hello to my little friend. Scenes that have popped over into pop culture. G-Man. It's pretty easy, this one.
No.
Essentially,
You feel lucky, punk.
Yep.
Of course, the Magnum 44 Magnum, I
Yep.
should say, is universally known as
Yep.
his
a
gun.
Dirty Harry. Like, I
Dirty
think
Harry,
in
the
movies it
name,
gets
yeah.
mentioned. Who do you think you are, Dirty Harry?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think it gets
definitely.
mentioned a lot.
Yeah.
But for me, it's obviously the phrase and the gun are probably
Yeah.
the two big ones.
And of
Yeah.
course, later on in is it Magnum Force or is it Sun Impact? Make My Day. Like that's obviously
Yeah,
super
Go
famous.
ahead.
Yeah.
Make my day.
But
that's
that's later on.
Yeah,
You know,
that
don't
is later
realize
on.
something,
It's not
but,
in
but
this
that's all cast into Dirty Harry,
For
right?
sure.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Pig face lickouts for the biggest dick character in the movie. I don't think you can. I don't think Scorpio.
no, because
He's
he's,
the
a
baddie.
baddie.
He's just the baddie.
illusion, Yeah.
I think the district attorney's the
District
biggest
attorney.
scumbag
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the movie. For me, that's
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, he's probably the one.
There's no one else that's really a dick apart from the district attorney.
No.
You know, even the chief of police, he's all right.
Yeah.
They're
at
just
least,
doing their job.
Yeah, at least everyone else kind of had the attitude that they were like, look, I understand why you're doing what you're doing,
Yes.
but we need to somehow find a happy medium here. Because
Absolutely.
it seemed like the bloody district attorney was like absolutely genuinely hated him. Like
Yeah,
he really was the bad guy.
absolutely.
Yeah.
5-minute movie.
Oh,
Is there really a 5-minute movie in it? I mean,
Well, probably not a 5-minute movie, but maybe like a 30-minute movie where
those
if
dumb chopper pilot and that cop in there had just done
Yeah.
their job and shot him when they saw him.
yeah,
There's
or
a
if
guy on the-
Harry
yeah,
if Harry didn't get an erection on the roof watching the threesome,
that's right. Yeah.
maybe he just gets him.
Can you blame him?
Oh no, you can't.
You can't blame him.
But,
you
you know,
can't hold that against
No,
him.
you can't. Sorry, you can't hold it against him. You can't hold
But if those
Very
cops,
difficult
but
for
if those
5
cops in the chopper
it. Yeah,
did their job,
okay.
how do you let a man get out of an apartment building with a gun
I
in a
know,
suitcase
I
in
know.
broad daylight?
Olivia Newton-John, bad athletic prowess for Sandy's cartwheel at the pep rally.
I think
Now,
we've
I think
covered
we've
that.
mentioned it.
Yeah.
Scorpio,
Limp run.
Scorpio's
terrible limp
run.
runner. Yep.
Would you say a pop culture reference, another one from that movie, would be the car hitting the fire hydrant?
Oh, that happens a lot.
It does,
Yeah.
hey?
Yeah, it happens a
It's
lot.
like a regular feature of
Yeah.
a bit of melee.
Yeah, it does happen a lot. It's a good
Sorry,
one.
just a little
Take
bit
that.
thrown back in there.
Aliens, robot sentries. Do we need any extra scenes in the movie?
You know, I wouldn't mind getting some more of what Scorpio Killer's brain was saying to him, or like some sort of maybe slight flashback stuff or whatever to be given a reason, as opposed to just this
Yeah, he's a nutcase.
cold
Yeah.
nutcase, like with no motive.
There was no motivation for his random
Nah.
attacks, was there? Apart, it was really funny that he asked for money because he doesn't come across as someone like he's
Yes.
supposed to be deranged, but then he's also asking for money.
Yeah.
So it's a little.
Yeah, and then at the end, he's asking for a plane to fly him away. Look, my one is I wouldn't have mind seeing maybe Scorpio at work. Like, how does he get the girl? How does he kidnap the girl?
Yeah.
What does he do to the girl?
Yeah.
We don't realize that she's buried in that thing. We don't know,
What's in the box?
maybe something like that. But then again, you don't sort of need it. You don't sort of need it. But Brad Pitt, the person you'd most like to do a Dirty Harry on?
Chico's
the-
wife is a good sort.
It's not a bad sort.
Yeah, the swimming pool girl.
I think she's mine, swimming pool girl,
I did quite like.
before she was shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed the bus driver at the end there, that lady. with the haircut
What
strip.
about the stripper with the massive snorbs?
Yeah,
in the,
there
in
was
the,
a-
in
there was
the,
the stripper, yeah.
in the- a couple of reasonable
There
strippers.
was some good looking girls in the movie.
Very 70s.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Very 70s.
What we haven't covered is how Dirty Harry comes home and meets someone that lives in the same apartment building who he's never met before, and she just says, how do I go to bed with you?"
Yeah.
Now, they've never met.
Yeah.
And she just says, "Yep." And then he leaves her in his apartment, goes to work, comes back, and she's there.
70s, man. 70s,
70s,
San
yeah.
Francisco, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're Dirty Harry, mate. Look at the pants. They're tailored down to a T.
Yeah. Love Dirty
How
Harry.
can you resist?
He's a stud. Morgs alike, lookalikes, anything? District Attorney's got a bit of Morgs in him.
Yeah. Harry Gardino, Lieutenant Bresl's got a bit of morgs about him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got a bit of a honker on him.
Other than that, maybe the bus driver.
Yeah.
Looks like Morgs.
Yeah.
It's really
Scorpio
hard to
Killer
sort
looks a
that.
bit like morgs.
Yeah.
with his long hair.
Anyone that's relatively unattractive looks like Morgs.
Yeah, repulsive.
Yeah, repulsive. That's a
Anything
good,
is
that's a
mildly
good word.
repulsive.
Good word.
Yeah.
Good word. Listen to this, G-Man. You can start with this. We've done a lot as we've gone through the
We
movie.
have. Look, you might have come across this, Whitey. There was the scene at the start we talked about when he, a guts to know.
Yeah.
When Don Siegel came on board with Clint Eastwood after other people had been attached to it, they got another writer in. And when they were going to rewrite that scene, when he says, "I guts to know," and he was going to put the gun to Harry's own head,
Yeah.
pull the trigger, and have it be empty, and then just laugh and walk off. But they sort of went, "That's
Bit
probably
dark.
bit dark, and probably a bridge too far for that character." There was also, you noticed that the Scorpio Killer had the peace badge,
Yes.
like the belt,
Yeah.
and that was supposed to be a sort of a nod to, like his depravity is, we should be looking for peace. But I actually heard a story, and this is years ago. I heard this, that Andrew Robinson was a massive peace actress and really struggled with this role because of who the character was and
Quite
and
a
the-
pacifist.
yeah, a
wasn't he?
massive pacifist
Yeah.
and really struggled with the thought of his character doing this. And apparently Clint Eastwood is a bit like that himself, doesn't like, and when he's got, he's in his movies, he
kills
shows,
a million people in every movie. He's
yeah,
in.
but he shows
I love
a lot of, like, in the movies, like in The Unforgiven, like he shows what happens to people when the violence happens. It's not
Yes.
just like, oh, he's just shot and he's dead, right?
Yeah.
So, but so that was supposed to be his juxtaposition. He wore that to sort of go like, hey, I'm actually a pacifist, because
Yeah.
he didn't really like the way that movie was
Well,
going.
there was quite a zoom in on that belt buckle. Like,
Yeah,
was-
it became quite a thing.
The original title for the movie was called Dead Right.
ooh,
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Dirty Harry's better though.
Dirty Harry's much better. Well, the movie is about one person. It's about one character.
Yeah.
Everything else is a bit part,
what?
really. What was that?
What was that?
Someone tread on the dog.
All right, continue.
Yeah, so Dead Right. Now, the movie is all about Dirty Harry, and he's the central focus. And that's a really hard thing, because he has to, you have to be good enough to be able to take
Carry
that
it.
movie on yourself and carry it yourself.
Wilbur?
Yeah, I got a little one. The kid that the Scorpio Killer grabs at the end of the movie in the quarry
Yes.
is his own actual stepson.
Oh,
In real
really?
life. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is a kid fishing in a quarry
Seemingly
late
in the middle of
on a work site?
off the side of a major
Yeah.
highway.
yeah.
Where there's no housing. There's no
Yeah.
housing and stuff
I
like
thought
that.
that's a little odd. Is he the boss's kid? I was thinking,
Yeah, just
maybe he's
out
the
there.
boss's kid
How many fish do you hope to catch?
in a quarry.
That's spill off the zone.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they're all dead. They're like Springfield three-eyed fish.
Yeah, massively. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do a last one, but it's in the opening scene when the memorial wall with the SFPD names. We go through all the people that have died in the line of duty. There's a name, Eric A. Zelms. Zelms was one of two officers who likely saw and possibly spoke to the infamous Zodiac killer
Right.
on the night of October 11, 1969, as they responded to the Zodiac killer's murder of cab driver Paul Stein in the Presidio Heights area of San Francisco. So what had happened is he had murdered this guy and he was walking and this cop car had come the other way. And instead of like them really questioning him about what went on, they said, have you seen the guy? And this guy goes, yeah, he's gone that way, the opposite way. And he just snuck off the other way, right? Now, as him and his partner were driving towards, they encountered him. So this guy had this encounter apparently with the Zodiac. He was actually killed. Now, you think this story's leading that he was actually killed during the Zodiac investigation, but he was actually killed in the line of duty about 3 months later, just in a random...
Oh, it's not related.
to do with the Zodiac, but they believe that this guy actually came face-to-face with the Zodiac killer.
Wow.
Who, if you watch this new doco on Netflix called This Is the Zodiac Speaking, actually tells you who they believe is the Zodiac killer.
Right.
It's pretty freaky.
Okay.
Other than that, not a great deal. Oh, one last one. A police department in the Philippines ordered a print of the movie to use as training film.
Yeah. It was used in other countries too.
What are you training? This is how you kill 7 people with 6 bullets and a bank robbery.
That's wild.
It's amazing.
Now, people, whatever you do at the start of a siege, finish your food.
Yeah.
Do not spit your
Finish
food out.
your food. Make
Chew
sure you're
60
on a
times.
full stomach.
Chew 60 times. Quotables. Wilbur, you got anything that tickled your fancy?
Oh, there was a lot of funny ones. The Red Cross quote was a funny one.
Yeah.
It's so good.
A butcher's knife and a hard on.
Yeah.
Great
Figure he's not out
combination.
collecting for the Red Cross.
Yeah, so good. I really enjoyed the what are you going to do with those? I'm going to cut your pants off. Is it $27.95? It's going to hurt. You're going to feel pain. He goes, $27.95. Bring the pain.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot of money in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
$30.
mate, bloody tailored trousers.
It would have been like over $100, I reckon.
Yeah. The guy knew how to dress.
He was stylish.
There's 1.5 million quotes in
there's
this
a lot
thing.
of
The
good
script
ones.
writer had a lot of fun.
He did.
Yeah.
G-Man?
I only had a couple. I had a guts to know.
Yeah.
Because I say that all the time.
Guts to
A
know.
guts to know. The other one I had was when Harry's driving along and he gets the people in front. He goes, "Get the hell out of the way, Hammerhead!"
Hammerhead. Unbelievable. Loved it.
You know, what I just thought of. I just thought of Crocodile Dundee.
Oh, God.
Get out of the way, Dopey.
Dopey. Actually, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay.
Hammerhead. So good.
This is so like when the district attorney's sort of ripping into him, he's like, "You're lucky I'm not indicting you for assault with intent to commit murder." And he goes, and effectively he goes, "I mean, you must have heard the 4th Amendment. What I'm saying is that man had rights." And Harry says, "Well, I'm all broken up about that man's rights."
Yeah.
And then we've already mentioned it, but this is the DiGiorgio. You need any help, Harry? Go out and get some air, fatso. It's just so good. It's so good.
But that, because he calls him that earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
When he says, he goes, "Morning, Harry. Morning, Fatso.
Yeah.
President wants to see you.
Yeah.
You're a sweet man,
You're
Harry."
a sweet man, Harry. Okay. We've done 1 degree of Kurt Russell. John Vernon was in Gunsmoke. Film school for F-wits. Now, I was watching this movie and I was thinking, God, this was like the 70s. Like, what a decade.
Mm.
And not only that, I think it gets undersold because now, like, Gal's 50 last year. I'm 50 this year. You're
40.
considerably younger,
Yeah, 10
40
years.
end of last year.
Mm-hmm.
So but I think it gets undersold just how great the 70s were as a decade of film. And not only that, the impact that it had on movies moving forward, right? So I wrote a little thing here. The 70s could arguably be the greatest decade in film history, a transformative era with artistic freedom, cultural relevance, and groundbreaking innovation. Following the collapse of the old Hollywood studio system, like visionary directors, Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, Kubrick, Spielberg, ushered in that new auteur-driven golden age where they were in control. Unrestrained by the studio, the filmmakers told daring, deeply personal stories with masterpieces, which I'll get to, created in the 70s. These films didn't just entertain, they tackled social and political issues, reflecting the decade's turbulence with bold and unfiltered commentary. The 70s also revolutionized the industry from a commercial perspective with the birth of the blockbuster, with George and Star Wars. Technical advances, ILM that was created for Star Wars. We're talking about the Steadicam for Rocky, cinematography in such like the helicopter shots in The Shining, and also then special effects and sci-fi with The Exorcist and Alien. Like, they really were groundbreaking films, right? Now, what I've done is I've put together a list of some of the groundbreaking films of the 70s. And after we've done this list, I think it's hard to argue that we, as a generation, owe a lot to 70s film, right? So, 72 was The Godfather. Obviously, one of the greatest movies ever made. Followed up in 74 with Godfather 2. Arguably the greatest sequel ever made. 79 is Apocalypse Now. Arguably the greatest Vietnam film ever made. Star Wars in 77. Arguably the greatest science fiction film ever made. Jaws in 75. Created the blockbuster. Chinatown. Incredible. Roman Polanski, Jack Nicholson. Just incredible. And actually probably never more relevant than now, because this is about the water wars in LA, and especially what's gone on over there. 76, we get Taxi Driver from Scorsese, which is just an incredible piece of filmmaking. It has to be seen. Now, Kubrick's Clockwork Orange in 71. It's an adaptation of the Anthony Burgess novel. It was banned for many years. We've covered the Exorcist. Still could be the greatest horror ever made. Powerful. Even Morgs gave it a 5. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Incredible film. Rocky. Really, it's almost the quintessential sports movie. It starts with that, and we get the birth of the Steadicam. Alien in 79. Like, again, so many movies pay homage and aren't created if Alien doesn't get made. Changed it, flipped it on its head. French Connection Gear, 71. Gritty crime drama to do with Dirty Harry. Blazing Saddles, like just quintessential comedy. Like slapstick is like taken to the mainstream. The Deer Hunter, another like Vietnam.
I was waiting. I was waiting on that, Whitey, because you said the greatest one. So I was thinking the Deer Hunter's up there too. Because
the Deer Hunter talks about a lot of stuff that happens away from Vietnam, and post Vietnam. Apocalypse Now is in all Vietnam, right?
But just that's one of those movies that depicts what happens to people when they come back.
Absolutely. So we've got Dirty Harry in 71, the police drama. Annie Hall, Woody Allen really stakes a claim with Annie Hall. John Carpenter starts the whole slasher thing with Halloween in 78. Network in 76.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre as well.
Absolutely. And then really Close Encounters of the Third Kind in 77, which is the huge, clean sci-fi epic. It's the 70s. It's hard to argue. All of those movies are like some of the greatest movies ever made. And if you want to start, if you were going to say to someone, here's a list of movies that you have to see before you die, they're all in it. All those movies. Now, there's some that you may...
Superman as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Superhero movies like this. And there's way more. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But, in terms of it's difficult to argue that how important the 70s were to our lives, because I don't think we have what becomes probably my favorite decade of filmmaking, which is the 80s, without the work that's gone in the 70s by those 4 or 5 directors. You've got De Palma as well. You've got so many good directors that come out of that 70s. Mate, just a great period of filmmaking, and I'm really going back and watching movies from the 70s is something that everyone should do because they are brilliant.
There's some great movies in there.
All the President's Men about Nixon is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's just So powerful. There's so many great films. So the 70s, hats off to you. Film school for F-words.
Nice.
Well done.
Well done, mate.
Cockburn out.
Cockburn out.
Okay, we're getting close to it now. We're going to roll on with, unfortunately for you people, it's more me because it's kick-ass credit song. And this was harder than I anticipated. The song's called Locked, Cocked, and Ready. Okay, and I'm pretty sure I know the tune because it's going to be very similar to most of my other kick-ass credit songs that I sing. Vigilante cop, he gets all the dirty jobs. Harry is his name, cribs, lives he robs. Locked, cocked, and ready, it's my Magnum 44. Punks are in the sights and a bullet about to bore. Ask yourself a question, was it 6 or was it 5? Got the answer wrong and you're about to die. Locked, cocked, and ready, Dirty Harry's on the case. Scorpio spree, bullets to the face. Send letters to the coppers to keep him on the scent. We can't decide if he's a pedo or he's bent. Locked, cocked, and ready, Dirty Harry is his name. Don't you try to cross him or you'll go down in flames.
Nice work.
Nice.
There it is.
Locked, cocked,
Locked,
and ready.
cocked, and ready. So there we go. Well, there we go. There's another.
Very
Thank God
close
that's
to
out of the
your
way.
bedroom habit. Say cock, locked, and ready.
It's a hard 5. Okay. It doesn't get very much action, the hard 5.
Well done, mate. It's good.
Just short and sharp, just like my bedroom habits.
Yeah.
We're now moving on to star of the show, Wilbur.
Oh, I mean, it's Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. Are we all going Clint Eastwood here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with a shout out to Laylo.
Yeah, Layla gets a shout
Yeah,
out,
yeah, you're right.
but it's
Sure.
Clint.
Honorable
for
mention,
sure.
but it is definitely Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, the rank bank. This one was a bit harder than I thought. I got Magnum 44s. I got punks, coerced statements, amateur topless competitions, hot Marys, hammerheads, and beatings for hire. Any thoughts? Anything to throw at me here?
I do like the directness of punks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like punks. You know what? I've got a real sort of. I really like hot Marys.
Yeah, Hot Marys. That's good.
What do we? Will you get to choose? You're the guest.
I think punks.
Punks.
Yeah,
punks
because
it
everything
is.
else is a little bit too obscure.
Obscure.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You do like
You're
a
gonna
bit
you're gonna
of
recognize
obscurity.
punks straight away.
Will,
Yeah.
we're going to start with you.
Yep.
How many punks are you giving Dirty Harry?
I'll give it a 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah. It's probably one of my more solid scores.
Yep.
Of recent times. But there's a lot to like about this movie.
With young eyes, what are your thoughts? Does it hold up?
It does. It holds up. The pace of it is a real 70s pace.
Yes.
Right. Like it's like, whoa, yeah, like hour and 42 minutes. This is, yeah, okay. We're settling in for this one. But I think the same movie today would be a lot shorter.
Yep.
And there'd be a whole lot more going on to arrest your attention every 10 seconds. Whereas it's that classic, like distilling shots and just kind of letting you soak into a scene for a second and a bit of space in the dialogue and all those sorts of things that you get in those older movies. But I actually really like that because it makes room for the soundtrack, which does a lot to sort of set the mood, and it's a killer soundtrack. And I
Yeah.
think it all works, which is why I give it 3.5. It still was like long, but it's, yeah, the way it is the way it should be.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not all about the action, just action and destruction and blasting.
No.
It's about the story, and it burns at a good pace the whole movie,
Yeah.
right? It just doesn't have too many massive high points and low points. It just
Yeah.
keeps going the whole time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I really like. I think you're right. It's more of a nod back to the way they were than to what there'd be way more action and things happening in that now and fight scenes and
Yeah, there's way more opportunity for
Yeah.
it, but they had everyone had a bit of restraint back then.
Yeah, there is. Restraint's a good word.
Yeah.
They're not. We're not trying to get to the end. We're
Mm.
patient.
Mm.
A lot more patience. G-Man.
look, I've just talked about the good things about it. Dirty Harry's iconic. It's amazing. Spawned so many other movies and is so well known. Definitely had a big impact on my childhood. You know, this was huge, and Clint Eastwood was huge around that time. Fantastic movie. I'm going to give 4.25.
Oh, good
Punks.
score, G-Man. Good score, G-Man. Okay. Look, it's hard to argue. I got a long history with Dirty Harry. There's a lot of nostalgia here for me. I watch it at least once a year.
Yeah.
At least once a year, and possibly more if I catch it somewhere. 4 punks out of 5 for me, and that's only because I think that Magnum Force is a better movie, overall movie. So I've got to give myself some wiggle room here. But 4 out of 5, quality movie. Thoroughly enjoyed watching it again, even with the Born to Watch lens on, which can be
great watch, great rewatch.
Good fun. G-Man, what does that do for Dirty Harry?
Well, look, it brings us straight into 4 on the dot punks. Now that is equal with.
Does it, G-Man?
It does. Oh, that's what it's got me. Oh, sorry, 3.92. Sorry. I was looking at the first one.
Start again, Jamie.
Okay, that brings us in at 3.92. I was looking at the first one here. It said 4, and I was like, oh, yeah, okay, great. That brings us in at 3.92 punks. Now, that brings us equal with a few different movies. One is, equal with Sex Panthers for Anchorman, Hobbled Ankles for Misery,
Wow.
and Assistant Managers for Coming to America.
Okay.
And Cool Execs with a Heart of Steel.
Oh, Iron Man.
Right below 3.94 elaborate European flat tops.
Where's the Commando?
Yeah. So Commando's above it by 0.02.
Wow. Yeah, that I think that Sloan gave Commando 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a 5 up there.
That really drew it
You
up.
got a real buffing on that one.
Yeah.
So look, brings us in at number 73. It's just above 3.88. No God for Us Babies for Rocky 2.
No good for us babies.
No good. No God, you've got it here.
Have I? Okay. No good for us babies. Okay, yeah. He's no good for us. He's no good for us, baby. That's what Tony says to him.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, well done, gents. We've killed it again, quite literally. And Dirty Harry was fun. Wilbur, thanks for joining us on the couch.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
And I'm sure we'll have you on again. G-Man, well done. This is a real G movie.
Yeah,
Dirty Harry. When
Dirty
I think
Harry's.
of movies, this is a real G movie. That
Dirty
I think
Harry's
about.
good movie.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, well done. Next week we look forward. We're going to Mars.
Whoa.
Recall. Total recall.
2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. How long are you going to be on Mars for? 2 weeks. Yeah, I'll tell you what, and I'm pretty sure it's the whole team is on board.
Such
I think
a good movie.
we've got Total Recall. A little bit of a heads up for the week after that. G-Man's away.
Yeah.
He's going to ChinaCon.
Going to get Press in the Flesh.
Yeah.
Going back on the international tour.
That's it. Going on the Born to Watch Dumpling tour. And we're doing 1986's Mannequin.
Oh.
So Andrew McCarthy, one of the ugliest heartthrobs ever to grace our screens of the 80s. Kim Cattrall, one of the most attractive women ever to grace our screens. But next week, first and foremost, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Back to the well with Arnie.
Douglas Quaid, Quarto, Sharon Stone.
Come on.
Paul Verhoeven. It's going to be so much fun. Can't wait to do Total Recall.
I remember when I first saw this movie, and that's the first time I'd seen Sharon Stone. I was like, oh my God, who is that?
She's the most beautiful woman on the world.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Most beautiful woman on the planet.
She was a New York 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking forward to the Snorbs report in this one.
Well, Damo's got his work cut out for him.
It does.
Especially when there's three Snorbs in it.
Three Snorbs. I'm interested to hear how he goes.
Damo's going to walk in with a sweaty brow.
Yeah, he will. He's got his work cut out.
Yeah.
G-Man, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Wilbur, thank you.
Thank you.
People, share to your friends, share to your enemies, share to anyone. We'd love some organic growth. Get us to a hard 5. Bye.
See ya.
See ya.
Now.
See ya, punks.